Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Out of the Box Developer session today. My name is Yogo, and I help professional web developers to design and build better architecture so they can take important decisions and also lead their teams. And yeah, today we had a lot of topics to bring here, but we are discussing. I was discussing with our other people here on the backstages, and we decided to talk much more about ChatGPT because, as probably, if you are a developer, you have seen it a lot. It was the new hype of the week. I think many people talking about it, many people making some lots of tests, and a lot of people that's uh, really surprised and afraid of the results of that. And I think it's a great way to see what other professionals in the field thinks about that and how they see it in the future. So to help me with this discussion, I will bring my good friend Mani Sarkar. Hey Mani, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Thanks, man. Fine here as well.
Long time
Actually,
no see, Hugo. Long time no
yeah,
see.
long time no see. We had a bit of sessions that we hold a little bit because of the Black Friday, and there was many other things that going on. And actually, today for Brazilians, it's not very good day, right? We had a very sad. I'm here in Brazil. For those who don't know, but we had the World Cup soccer game today, and Brazil was eliminated. It was very sad. They played so well, and yeah, I was cheering for them until the end. But yeah, in the penalties, they were eliminated. So that's one little thing that I was very sad, but very happy to be here with you to discuss the Chat GPT. I think it's a lot of things that you can actually contribute because that's about chat and that's about AI and the vision of the future, right?
Absolutely. Well, sorry about your team that they didn't make it into the next round and got eliminated. But I'm sure there'll be other occasions and other opportunities that maybe another competition. If not, I mean, of
Yes.
course, the world. Who doesn't want to be part of the World Cup, and why would you wait 4 years? But hey,
Yeah.
you only get a small window of opportunity, and you get a few shots to hit. So I'm sure you have a great team, and you will do well in your next games.
Yes, and one thing that everyone tells about say about Brazilians is that we have a good perseverance skills. So I'm not worried in the future. I'm sure that we'll turn over and get the sixth win on the World Cup. But yeah, maybe on the next World Cup. So
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, go
Sorry.
on. Sorry, you go. Go on.
Okay, and today we have a new person that will be helping us on the sessions of the out of the box developers that I would like to call him here to add and contribute in this discussion. He is the Pedro Cavalero. Hey, Pedro.
Hey Yogo, hey Manny,
Hey,
very glad
Pedro.
to be here. Yeah, I really enjoyed the invite for Yogo, and I think this out of developer is an amazing place to discuss very important uh, technical question we have here, and get lots of of the wins though of these guys here we have here. So I really enjoyed to be invited. So thank you very much. Let me introduce myself a little. Like I'm Pedro Cavalero. I'm a software engineer at Superdogon, and I help professional developers to study more about architecture and Java and Python development, so they can have opportunities in his career. So I think we can we can, all these things we discuss here are very important for us in our careers. So that's why we are here. Let's see, let's try to do the best.
Oh, great, great. Thanks so much, Pedro, for joining us on this team. And I hope to have a lot of sessions together and yeah, to add forces and contribute to the discussion. And actually, well, today we went through the recent Black Friday, and it was a lot of issues that we commonly see. As I mentioned before, it was one of topics that we probably should be talking about. But in the end, we changed a little bit the course of the boat, and ChatGPT was surely a topic that went over all the other topics that we were interested to talk about. And
Mhm.
just jumping right into ChatGPT, have you guys can some of you can explain what is ChatGPT to our audience and yeah, and actually what was the experience that you had with that this week? You want to
Pedro, why don't you
Sure.
go ahead and
Yeah.
I'll try to support you after you finish.
For okay, so well, I think that ChatGPT is something was really took over all the internet and took over all the social media, and everybody's talking about it. Uh, I think it would be great to say, "Oh, ChatGPT, can you introduce yourself?" Well, let me share my screen.
okay, yeah,
Uh,
sure.
yeah, I think it would be nice to see. Let's go see it. This
Let's
is
see it on
ChatGPT.
live.
Yeah, let's see it live. ChatGPT is a chatbot made by OpenAI. OpenAI is an amazing AI company that is behind like DALI 2 and GPT-3. We have lots of really interesting things coming from this company. And ChatGPT is, of course, something really interesting. So let's just ask it, what is ChatGPT? So, oh, how interesting!
That's
In a minute ago, I asked it, and it just returned an answer about it. So it's important. Let's see it live here. Something that we gonna discuss here. Okay. For example,
mhm.
this is a model that answers something, but sometimes it responds some really bogus things. Let's see. And then we can try again and see what this guy try again. Whoa, he she. I think it's not really wanted to to return in my
to
question.
answer he is not very good to introduce himself,
No, he not.
but
No,
it's a chatbot, right? In the end,
it's a
that
chatbot.
was developed by the OpenAI team. But
Yeah.
what is so special about this Chat GPT?
Yeah.
What why people, because we had chatbots for a long time.
Hmm.
It was on the discussions for some time, and
Hmm.
but now this week, at least when I see this week or last week, we see a lot of people sharing about it and sharing many things about it that would actually change
Hmm.
the whole way we interact with the internet. Also, it's there was an interesting talk about how it will actually change the business model for Google. So it was something that might affect some of the biggest tech industry, tech
Hmm.
company in the world. So what is so special with these chatbots? What can we?
Yeah, this chatbot especially is like as it said here, a program designed to assist with a wide range of tasks such as answering questions, providing information, and engaging conversation. So many people are using this just for entertainment, like engaging conversations. Try to say, oh, like I said here, introduce yourself and say, hey, hello, my name is assistant, blah blah, right? I'm a language model. So, but it was really trained with a huge amount of information from the internet, and that's why it's able to answer really a big amount of different kind of questions.
Different questions.
Yeah, we can ask him to create, and the people are creating asking to these things to create many different things like articles, like script, movie scripts, like tweet Twitter threads, for example. We can create a small article about uh
ChatGPT.
no, let's try another thing. About how how World Cup, let's talk about World Cup, can help the career of a software developer. And then it's just try this and start to writing something that mostly are really consistent. For example here, World Cup provides a unique opportunity for developers to showcase their skills on global stage. Many companies are looking for talented developers to create new technology to show during World Cup. You know, how do you see?
Yeah, I have seen. I have really tried a little bit here myself, and yes, I see this consistency. I think one thing is very different is that the reply
Yeah.
from this chatbot is not
Mm-hmm.
just some really short, simple answers. It's
No, it's
totally yeah amazing,
totally consistent, amazing, and
consistent and
looks like someone has written that, right? uh, uh, but I think, for example, that we can discuss here, I think that this is a great tool for developers to grow, to learn, to know more about things. For example, we can say, oh, please describe what uh, is uh, explain the quick sort algorithm. And
and
then
it
it's going
answers.
to, yeah, then it answers. Mm, for our things, like in technological things, or computer science things, they are mostly okay. So people in internet are say, oh, we need to take a look and see if you're writing something correctly. uh, but I think the most amazing thing is like, okay, it's explained a lot here, and I can ask, oh, show, can you
Maybe you want to
show
ask it to show some code in Quicksort in some programming language. Well, we'll say Java,
exactly?
since we are familiar with the programming language Java. Let's say, can you show us some efficient code?
I want to I want to grab the opportunity here to ask our audience if you already have
Wow, look at
opportunity
that.
to try
It
chatbot
knows if,
GPT, please tell here on the chat.
yeah, we should invite our audience. Um, I'm thinking our audience from LinkedIn and Twitter should be joining in. Are you seeing them coming in, Hugo?
Uh-huh.
Let me check here. Write all the
That
code.
it's not only writing all the code; it's explaining it. As you say, use this code. This would imply, for example, that after the code executes the array variable, I can, for example, it write the code, right, and say how to use it, and say, okay, it will be like that. Okay, say, please explain explain the code. Codes and say, oh, let's see what he gonna do.
He's already explained the code in
Yeah,
the
no,
previous lines, right?
yeah, but I'd like to explain a small part of it.
Okay.
Here. The code consists of a quick sort class that contains three methods, blah blah. This is something that I wanted to show. We can get it was a code that it wrote, right, but we can get our code put in the chat text in the input here and ask, oh, please explain this for me,
Mm.
right? It's really amazing, and then it
Mm.
can explain, right? It's important that if you take a look if it's okay, but mostly it can understand. So, oh, this is a big, big explanation. Okay, but something amazing that I have done here. Another thing is, another thing, really interesting thing there is there. Oh, sorry. Is there any potential any potential error in this code?
You got to share it some code, right?
Yeah, that the code. I am talking about
Oh,
that
the
code.
code, the code. Okay, the code that it's talking about. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it keeps track of the context. Oh,
Uh
yeah.
huh.
It says null pointer exception, array index out
Yeah.
of bounds exception. Oh,
Uh
wow.
huh. It can. We are talking about that code, so it understands that we are in a conversation, right? So we
Mm.
don't need to explain myself too much. This is something really interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. See, this
Yeah.
is what previous versions and previously natural language processing and chat applications weren't able to keep track of, because
Uh huh.
the models need to be rebuilt. Then the conversations had in one corner of the application was not transferred to the other set of the applications because they were all dealing with different constrained environments. Whereas
Uh
now
huh.
here, it will now remember this conversation. And if somebody else asks at another time, it knows how to go about with it. That's really good.
Yeah, this
Yes,
is really
it's
good.
It gives the
impressive.
context.
For
Yeah.
example, here, one potential issues, the method does not check if the array is null. And I can
Mhm.
ask it, so can you apply the null check or something like this? Like, I can ask him to write some code with write the code with the
And the new pointer exception.
error handling. Right? Let's see what we get. We remember that. Remember we're talking to life.
Mm.
Oh, I don't know, modified. Oh no, we check the array. The array is null.
Really interesting.
Wow.
And
Let's see if it has put any other checks.
amazing.
Yeah, it's when in the beginning the site was a little more fast to write the things, but now I think it's taking so much traffic. It takes a little more. Here, this code handles the potential errors mentioned earlier.
Okay, so did you not say just null pointer because it has done more than that?
Yeah, I said, oh, this show me a code that handle the errors.
Oh, you said only handle the errors. I thought you said null pointer. Okay,
No, I did it.
okay.
Here, let's look here. Uh, handle
Oh,
write
yeah,
the
yeah,
code
yeah.
that's the
All right.
error
Okay.
handling,
Yeah.
and then to write the code, you can see the error, and then it can explain it. No pointer here. Index out of bound here. Find the swap method checks are within the bounds. Let's see. Swap checks if it within the bounds.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's why I can say that this is something really interesting for people who are learning how to code, or for teachers, or for people who are creating doing classes, or uh, wanted to show something to the students, right? Say, oh, we can, or even a student, like we are always like work or learn by ourselves, right? We
Exactly.
mostly are learning alone, and we don't have anybody to ask something specifically, like, oh, I want to understand that code here, there is no place in the world, right? You cannot find it in Google like that. So I think that this was something I put in my mind and say, oh man, uh, how amazing is that technology for people who are starting now in development,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
I
The
think
the
not just
other thing,
starting, right?
the other thing is, um, we in at least I used to search Google for a lot of different examples of some thing that I want to see, read, and understand. And I
Mm-hmm.
sometimes would come across the example in a language I don't know,
For
or
example.
not exactly the same thing, but I would find something close, but not close enough. Right. So there are all
Mm-hmm.
those problems and variations of it. Whereas
Uh-huh.
this knows exactly, at least so far it's appearing, it knows exactly what you're talking about, and it's giving it to you in that context. So now I think it's going to crash. Can you leave a single quote or a double quote at the end just to see if it's parsing your quotes? Because JavaScript is notorious with all those things.
Yeah. Let me ask you to write a JavaScript and see.
Yeah.
Here's the quicksort algorithm implemented in JavaScript. My goodness, it knows how to say it as well. It's no different, right? I mean, you just replace a bunch of directives in JavaScript. It looks like Java, or the other way around as well. I'm
Yeah.
sure the either of the developers wouldn't like hearing this, but seems like it, right?
Yeah, I have done we have done some testing here. One amazing test that I did is, I will show you in a moment here. I would say, man, let's see if this thing can answer some leet code question,
Question.
right? And I said, okay, let's ask. Oh, it's still writing. But yeah, so we can see that we have JavaScript code for the same thing. And now this code has the same error handling, because we already asked it to, oh, write this code in JavaScript, right? And it uses something for JavaScript, not only things for Java, right? So it knows we're writing JavaScript, and it works into writing. If you wanted to write like in Rust, Go, or any other language, it can, right? I still didn't find the one that it can't. But I find this amazing. I got this test here, right? Longest palindromic substring, for example. Okay, I cannot show it here because we are trying another thing, right? But I got this question here. I put there in the ChatGPT, and it gave me this answer. This
And it is a efficient piece of code, right? There's no extra lines.
Yeah,
It's just doing what it's supposed to do as
let
well.
me yeah, just this one here. Okay, I of course it was just as it was a different small piece of work. Like, I had to change, for example, name of the method to not uh, put just here to the question, right? And I got this. It passed. I say, oh man, amazing! It passed. And it beats 59%, but in memory it beats only 39%. For I say, oh, if I ask the ChatGPT to improve the memory performance, I did exactly that. improve the memory performance.
Mm.
Of course, I said, "Oh, can you see any potential memory improvements here?" And say, "Yeah, we have here." Wow. And I put again the same code, not the new code here to see it again, and
83%.
it
Yeah.
really proves the memory.
Wow.
I said, man, that was amazing. I said, oh, I really enjoyed this test. I tested this
Well, this is
yesterday.
really not so great for all those people who run websites like this that test developers, and then companies who rely on services like this to test developers. And if you don't pass these tests, then those companies stamp you as non developers or not developers that we can hire and the works. And I wonder if within their organization they have a system like this where you develop software like this for their clients. And that's my
Mm-hmm.
question, because if you did, then you should test your developers or your potential developers like this, right? Even then I
Right.
don't think it's a fair thing to do. But hey,
Yeah.
but now when you use a service like this and you have chat gpt, even if they make it monetized, people are still willing to pay 10-20 pounds to go on there, paste these questions, get an answer, modify it a little bit, and get 83% without even explaining what were the potential memory fixes they did, what were the potential
Yeah.
CPU performance improvements they did to get those scores. Like, maybe they go through the code, there's some comments that they read and they understand. Everybody who develops in a particular language probably knows, but they'll still
Uh-huh.
not be able to explain the evolution of, like, I started off writing bad code and then I start writing better code to make it more efficient and less memory consuming, right? So,
Yeah.
and it's
But
not good code or bad code, right? It When you start doing performance tuning, there's a whole paradigm shift of how you have to write your code. You got to then write it the way the machine will process it,
mm-hmm.
as opposed to the way you've learned to write it to solve it algorithmically, right? There are two
Mm-hmm.
different there are two different worlds there, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But
So,
one thing here, and unfortunately I can show you, is that I asked him to explain. And it's explaining what he did. Oh, I changed it explained like that. I changed the string here to string builder, and then we are not using so much memory because we're not creating so much strings and blah 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 blah. It explained it.
wow. But
I
this is
had
Java, right? This is
it's a
Java.
Java. Java,
Okay,
yeah.
because I thought you had submitted JavaScript.
No, this is Java.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because string builder manages strings better than what were you using previously? Just strings, arrays.
yeah. This string here, like substring,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, exactly. String builder does all the efficient management of strings internally.
I see.
But that's not the only improvement, right? There might have been more improvements for memory improvements.
Oh, for sure. But well, Uh, the the most interesting thing here, like, oh, we can have we have like a personal consultant here, right? To say, oh, let's discuss something here, or let's try this out, or of course, it's not perfect, right?
Yeah. But it can give you hints, right? For example, yeah, I have been playing with it as well, and I've been posting my questions in it as well, and has given similar answers to what you've given. Not the same
Hmm.
questions, but some of the questions has given similar answers. So
Yeah.
what I did is I asked, "Can you watch this video?" And the video is the link to this current video that we are broadcasting. And it says, "No,
Uh
no, I'm sorry, I'm a language model. I cannot watch a video. You can give me text, but I cannot watch a video." That's what it says.
huh.
I just want to
Yeah,
say a quick
I
hello
can,
to
I can,
Max here.
I can share
Yeah,
my
Kim,
screen if you want
sorry.
to.
Yeah,
For
So it's on
sure.
record. Yeah. Let me share my
Your test.
wait, hang on. Brave window. Where is it gone? Oh, I shared a link to newsletter that talks about lots of things about Chat GPT. Hugo, if you want to share that with our audience, they can see
Mhm.
all the other examples, which also includes what Pedro has just shown, and many more examples of how people have been using ChatGPT. So
Mhm.
this is how I started. I asked the same question: "What is ChatGPT?" And I think
Mhm.
it gave exactly the same answer as you've given, Pedro. You've been
No,
given.
no.
Not
Do,
really.
do you remember? Do you remember when we ask about what is ChatGPT? He says, "Oh, I don't know."
Oh, really?
Really?
Okay. So do you, okay, okay. I won't provide feedback at the moment. Then then I said, can you please introduce yourself to our guest on Out of the Box Developer? And I said, sure, I'd be happy to introduce. And look at that. I think this answer is not very far away from what you've seen on
Yeah,
your,
it's
yeah.
pretty similar. Yeah.
Then I said, can you please watch this video? This is the video to our own show, right? I'm sorry, I'm not able to watch videos as a language model. I'm only able to process and generate text, not audio, video, visual data. If you have specific questions about video, you can ask. Okay, about the video. Okay, all right.
Uh-huh.
Can you, sorry. Then I asked, can you try to learn? Can we try to learn to write code in Java? He said, sure. He said, sure here. But then over here, when I said, show me your first Java code you've written, and there it says, no, I'm a language model. I have not written any code. I don't have the ability to write code. My primary function is to process and generate text, not to execute code or perform other tasks that require physical existence of. Now, this I can say is a slight contradiction, right? Because
Right.
what you just done just now is executed code, right?
No, it's right. It's right
No.
code, right? I think
Yeah.
execute code is a different thing here.
Mm, well, write code, yes. Okay. So let's say, can you execute? Let's say he might not. It might not be able to execute this line of code in Python because it's easiest to write like print hello world, right?
Ah,
Let's see what
for
it
sure.
does.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. It's no, but you said it wrote code. You said right. You said
Uh-huh.
so over here. It says already. I do not have the ability to write code in any programming language, including Java. But you just asked it
We
to
just
write
show it.
quick start in Java.
Yeah. We
Okay. So
just
I'm
showed
going to
this thing.
question it
So
back.
what
I'm going
what
to
what is
question it back.
something? Let me say something. I know that this model is being updated. For example, what I tried some before. I asked, "Oh, can you please describe what's the new features in Java 19 from Java 11?"
All right. Let's try that.
Yeah, and I had many different answers. Let's try what show now.
Like this, right?
Yeah,
Can you please
something
describe
like this.
difference between the new features and
Oh, here. Cool. Oh, Java 19 is not yet available.
is that true?
No, it's not. Oh,
Okay. I'm gonna help it learn. For your
no,
information, Java 19 was released in 2019, right? That's the
no, it
year
was
correspond.
2021. Yeah, 2021.
Okay, 2021. Sorry, I should know this. And okay, in the year 2021, even though you just said it has not been released, can we please update our database with this information? See, if I can have conversation. Oh, look at this. I apologize if I provide incorrect information about the release of Java. I don't have the ability to browse. My training data was cut off in 2021, so information I provide. All right, I'm not able to update my knowledge. Ah, ah. If you have
Pretty
any
nice.
specific question with Java or the program, what? is
Fantastic. But
what is going.
something we could do, something we do. Can we repeat the question and that question about Java? And if he not if it's not saying, oh, Java is not released, we can try this button called try again.
Oh yes, is that?
Yeah, let's wait to this finish, and then we have a try again button. This try
Oh,
again
I didn't.
button creates another answer,
Oh, does
and
it? Okay.
sometimes it got more updated information. I don't know why.
Okay. So I'm going to click on this again because however, based on the information available time of my last training. So let's see if I say so it repeats that same question again.
Yeah, it tries to write it again. But for in this case, for
By
example,
saying
it
it's
got
now repeatedly saying the same thing. My training bit has cut off at 2021, so I
yeah.
may have not. Yeah, but I'm
Uh-huh.
asking you to learn. Uh,
But
okay.
well, in my tests, I asked this question 3 times.
Hmm.
The first time you say, "Oh, the Java 19 will be released in March 21." I say,
Hmm.
"Okay, try again." I said, "Oh, current Java release is Java 14." I say, "Oh, try again." And then, "Oh, Java 19 that was released, blah 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 blah," and then wrote everything. I say, "Oh, no, this."
So
So
you know what?
I think there is different models that is running this.
No, no. Maybe it's different models, but when we send in a question, it comes. There are lots of answers that come back, and there are some questions that are some answers are still being processed, but the ones that come back with the higher probabilities, they pop to the surface.
Uh
But
huh.
then the other answers that get processed later on,
Mm.
if they get a higher probability, then they climb up.
Uh huh.
And when you say try again, it could be taking the next answer in the probability list or the next one
Ah.
that is in the highest probability. There's so many things can happen, right? Because I think
Yeah.
when the
Yeah.
question goes out, it goes in parallel, right? It may
Uh
be
huh.
going in parallel. And so, oh, GPT is become alive. The name of Chat
Oh.
GPT is Bruno Souza. That's what I'm seeing right here. Okay,
Hey
so
guys,
I
how
was
you
explaining.
doing?
Hello, hello, Bruno. I was just explaining to them how Chat GPT might be working under the hood, and I could
Yes,
be totally
I mean,
wrong. But our audience and our great friends here are listening to me and saying yes. So what can I say? So
right.
what the try again button is probably doing is not sending that question again, maybe, but
Mhm.
using the next available answer that has been processed.
Mhm.
And if there are no
Yeah.
answers, then it probably tries again and picks up another answer, not the previous one that it is given away. So I
Yes,
think it
Mhm.
works in that fashion. So that way it's more intuitive, right?
Mhm.
So,
yes.
but
Yeah.
I
Totally.
don't.
we can conclude one thing. I think you'll agree with me on this. It's only a question and an answer back system. It does not learn from us. I'm thinking all the questions we typed in are getting stored and collected somewhere for the researchers to look at the answers, question and answers, and tally and all that stuff. But it
Mhm.
hasn't learned anything from our conversation. It
No,
is only
not now.
producing what it knows, what it has learned from.
Uh huh.
So
And
Yes,
I
this,
and
because I think because I. Okay, so have you already explained it how it works, money or
I'm not at that level yet. I'll pass
okay?
that on to you, Bruno.
No, no, no. I'm definitely not at that level. But for what I understand, right, is that it has two neural networks, right? One that generates answers, and the other one that tests the answers to see which one is best, right? So, so I do agree with you that I don't think it's actually taking any of the
Yeah. It's only
inputs.
working read only one way.
Yes, right, and basically, um, the whole idea is, that's why you ask to generate answers again because uh, it has a lot of answers and you're just picking up the best one
Yeah,
that he
exactly.
found. So yeah,
Yeah, and if that's not good enough, it'll pick up the next one and so on and so forth. And it can eventually you will see it'll probably is going in circles because those are the only finite set of answers for that question, and it cannot choose any other ones, right?
mhm.
But
right.
but
All right.
that way. we may have still not solved the problem of a chat system that has conversations with a lot of individuals and remember stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just
No,
like if
I
you
don't.
call up, if you sign up on a website and you chat with someone, not
Yeah,
even chat,
I
you
don't.
call a
I don't.
service.
Yeah, I don't think that's the objective here. For right, the objective here is to generate, the most plausible answer from from this point on. I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then I think it should be Q&A GPT instead of calling it a chat GPT.
Right, right.
Technically, right?
That's
That's why
right.
that's
Makes
what I'm getting
sense.
at.
Yes.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
if you look at my dummy program with Hugo and I have been working on for some time, chat conversation,
Mm-hmm.
that has a vision to do that.
Right.
That it'll remember your conversation and give you back the answers that it has
Mhm.
learned from you.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not there yet,
Yeah,
but yeah.
but it still has a good it still remember like when we tried like that we just asked it, so continue like this, so
Mhm.
uh change this code, add error handling, and not repeating questions. We are just saying to like the conversation is flowing, so the chat can remember what we have done until now in this conversation. So
Mhm.
this is something
Yes,
really interesting. I
yes,
was
yes.
saying,
I will give
I
that. I will give that. Yes, because
So,
yeah,
context is important and it's keeping that context. Yeah.
yeah,
right. So
keeping
guys,
context.
since you stopped sharing, so let me share my screen here for a minute, okay?
Sure.
So, this, money. This is in Portuguese, but it's not what's written. Is not very important. So this is a friend of mine, Christian, and he made an experiment a couple of days ago. You know, trying to, he Christian works with machine learning, right? And so he went on to chat GPT, and he asked kids, what is machine learning, right? So how do I learn
Mm.
machine learning, right? And so from
Uh-huh.
the answers of how to learn machine learning, he kept asking about, okay, so how I learned that, how I learned that, how I learned that, right?
Uh-huh.
And so that's the article that's the algorithm created, right? So in Portuguese, by the way, right? That's an interesting
In
thing.
Portuguese.
Um, so all of these here. So Christian did not write anything, right? He just read the article, and he said he fixed it a few sentences that were sound weird, but the this whole article here is written by Chat GPT, right? So um, I'm actually gonna just copy the link here if anyone want to see things that are possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can take a look um, at what Christian did there.
So now I know how Bruno has the inspiration to have a nice, great email in my mailbox every day with some interesting things in there.
That's not Chat GPT idea, right? So because the
No,
one
no,
thing,
no. That's Bruno GPT.
oh, Bruno GPT, yeah, because that's how we work, I guess, right? Because there's one thing that I wonder. So there was a discussion at TDC a couple of days ago about that, and people are saying, oh, so now we don't need people to write articles anymore. But the interesting point here is actually that um, you know people write articles. The AI learn from people writing articles, right? And then the AI publish articles. So then we don't publish articles anymore. So the AI learns from the AI, and then eventually we have non-creative articles anymore because of that, right? Because you know. So
Mm-hmm.
those things here, I think that they think that the AI still has to be prompted by human to get the content. Yes, and I
Absolutely.
think it's just showing exactly that
Mm-hmm.
um, AI can generate a lot of answers, can even validate if the answers are reasonable or not, right? But the question is, how creative can AI be? That's an
Mm.
interesting question that I don't think we have a clear answer.
I think the way ahead is still going to be human augmented AI or AI augmented human,
Mhm.
whichever task we are talking about. here.
Right.
Um, so there are many terminologies for this, like human in the loop, um, AI assisted human, or human assisted AI, or
Mhm.
AI augmented human, or human augmented AI. More or less, they mean the same thing.
Right.
Where we're not saying one person does it and the other doesn't. It's like if you had a tractor. For those who know farming, I don't. You still have
Mhm.
to ride the tractor, right? I mean, you can't just put it at the beginning of your field, fill it with gas, and then you know fill it all up and then let it sit there. It's not going to do anything. It
Mhm.
still needs to be okay. You can automate it by maybe connecting the steering and everything with something, and then you will still have to operate it from somewhere so that it moves forward, backward, stops, and all that stuff. So that part, the intervention, which is called, has
Mhm.
to still be done by somebody.
Right.
And yes, the tractor is
Sure.
doing the heavy lifting, is doing the things efficiently,
Mhm.
but it's not taking away our role.
No, of course. I believe that in this case we're talking ChatGPT is we can treat it like a very good tool that we can
Mhm.
use, a tool that we can use to learn more about our our focus, a tool that we can use to help others, like to when we get a chance,
Mhm.
someone asks you some question and you can you can help these people, and this is a tool, important tool we can use. I think this will be there will be an API that you can use for many other different things, like GPT already has, and has the API, right? And
Mhm.
then we can use it. This new GPT will be even better than the old GPT. So I think we're gonna have more and more use cases for that. This is only chatbot, but as we can see, we can use it for many other things. But not it's not like a AI, sentient AI. You're not talking about this. Yeah, we are talking about a good, an amazing tool that we can use to help our audience. We can help each other.
Mhm. Right. And so when you're looking at code, right? We might have some ideas of exactly, because we know code, right? So we might have some ideas um, and some questions about how we do. But one interesting thing that sometimes you can take a look is see how AI creates text, right? This example I just showed you, or how AI creates images, for example, right? So that could be another interesting one that we could take a look, right? So we could take a look at Dali and see, because that's creating images, right? I'm not a good person with images, right? So for me, it's much more amazing to see something that I'm unable to do, right? So Pedro is putting that, right? So Pedro, so oh man, is putting that, right? So yeah, if you want to share that. Um, all right, so that's another interesting one, um, to do that, right? So actually, I just finished writing an article for the Java Advent calendar. It's going to go up Monday on the site, right? And the image for the article is generating using Dali, right? So
Bruno, this is what it generates. When I say Bruno says he's not good with images, I don't believe him. So instead,
so
I have no idea why, but I'm going to switch the subject to say surprise me, and
no,
it's
no,
going
no,
to
no. Actually, generate something, right? So actually, it's better that you do something, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
something talking about this ChatGPT some days ago. It was something people are doing. People are asking to write some stories, and then asking the GPT to describe the characters, describe it physically, and then get that description, put in DALI, and DALI generates the image of that description.
that's
So
yeah.
interesting. That's
Yeah.
nice.
So just like this one, Panda mad scientists mixing sparkling chemicals, digital art, right?
You know,
So
put a Java Finch, Juggy. Put there Java Finch, doing not Panda, Java Finch, man. So
Java. How do you
Finch,
spell the last second word you said?
Finch, like the bird, Finch, Finch.
Oh, Java Finch. Yeah, mixing or writing code.
So Leonardo saying here, only great guys talking about breakthrough technology is amazing. Thanks a lot, Leonardo. Join us here, man. Bring your questions and discussions, right? So we can have a conversation here, right? So Douglas says once
There
AI,
you go.
right?
Does that look like some Java code for you?
It looks a Java Finch for sure, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Like
getting
the
there.
second one.
Send those images to me then later, man. I
All
love
right.
them.
I've got
Bruno
them
is
here.
collecting them.
I got them here on the Dali, so I
Yes,
will
I
I
know.
will send them over to you.
Just send them to me. So on Douglas says once AI has facts with his own motivation, emotion, I think we start to see that change, right? So I think he's
Yeah.
talking about AI being creative.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
then
Now,
Douglas says you can use GP3 from their API right now, right? Ask it to write your code. Yeah, no, that's exactly what we did here before. I'm not sure when you joined, Douglas, but that's what Pedro was showing before, to write code examples and even optimize the code, right? So Leonardo says, "I'd love to read the paper once OpenAI publish it." Right? I think they isn't the paper available right now? I think it is, isn't it?
I don't think so.
yeah, the paper on ChatGPT you're talking about,
Yeah,
on Dali.
or Dolly, right? Yeah,
There's a paper for each one of these, and they're all available and published. So
right.
depending on which versions you're talking about, but I think the most recent ones should be available.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah,
The papers are written before they start implementing it, isn't it? And then they publish the papers. I'm thinking whilst they haven't finished implementing it.
Mm.
Well, I think this is a great opportunity to ask our audience for a text, as long as it's a decent and within reasons. And we type this here, and let's see what answer we get. Now, this one was from you, Bruno. So I'm going to
yes.
share this image with you.
Hmm.
Um, so let's hear from the audience what they want us to write in here, and I will type that here.
Okay, so guys, everyone here, just suggest something so we can you know, see, there's lots of people watching us here. So anyone suggest something first to create some kind of image here. But look, I love what Pedro just said. How about we do exactly what Pedro just said? How about we
Mhm.
go to, uh, uh,
Chat
to
GPT.
Chat GPT and
Uh-huh.
ask it to describe a character, right? And then we could bring it back here and
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Why don't we do that? Why don't
yeah.
we do that? Okay. Um. Okay. This. Let me switch to that and share that. So then, where did my
If you
screen
want to do
go?
that, yeah, if you want to do that, money, I think you can just open two tabs of the browser and then just share the window so you can
Yeah. I'm.
back and
I'm
forth.
gonna just gonna do that. Yes.
Right.
Because for some reason it has now. Yes. Okay. So what? I'm gonna window. Yeah. So I'm gonna now share the window. Okay. What do you want to describe?
Um, describe a rock star that works with um, surfing
Yeah.
in Hawaii.
In Hawaii.
And say that he is non-human.
And
And is
he is a dog.
non-human,
No, it's
or
non-human.
an
No, no
android,
human.
and
Android.
is
Non-human. Yeah. No, it's
is
non-human. It's good. Just
non-human.
yes.
Wow. I think this is going to be. I'm sorry, I'm not able to
Huh?
browse the internet or access information outside what I've been trained. My goodness.
So use that. They say not describe. Create a character.
Create a
With
Create
character.
a
all this.
character. Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Create.
No, just copy the text you did before up there.
Yeah, yeah, and copy that.
Oh, you mean to say just use this and just say
Yes.
But instead of describe, say create a
create? Okay.
yeah,
Well, we'll see. We will see if that helps.
yeah.
Create a rock star that works with surfing in Hawaii
Create a
and is
character. Create a
non-human.
character.
Create a character.
Create a character. Okay.
No, the rock star. The rock star was good. Create a character. There is a rock star.
All right. Okay. Create.
Yeah.
Is the rest of it good?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Let's see what we get.
Sure. Oh, right. Okay. Make Rocky
Oh,
the surfing robot.
Oh, cool.
Right.
Rock
So
is
I
now.
think this is quite a large prompt. I will try to see if I can put this into DALI.
Right.
Yeah, but
Can you see the second window?
Yeah, we can see it.
yeah, we can.
Hang on. Right. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna take the
maybe we can trim it down for only the visual characteristics. How about that?
okay, so meet
Yeah.
Rocky, the surfing robot. Okay. Rocky is a non-human rock star who loves nothing more than hitting waves in Hawaii. Is that good enough?
No, I think it is.
Actually,
He's
you want
a
us
robot with a sleek and metallic body.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's what we need.
Perfect. I think
Ignore the
I think
beginning. Start from there. He's a robot with a sneak metal robot. Yes.
but the Hawaii part will go away, right? We want to see the hitting waves and all that, don't we?
Oh yes.
I think it's good. From Rocky is a non-human and
Yeah,
until
that
the
one
water.
here. Yeah, till over the water, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Let's try
Cool.
this. This is this is going to be fun. Don't worry, it's still generating. It hasn't finished.
I know that's how good. We can see that.
Ah, it's
Oh
not far.
man.
Well, we have the surfing and everything. Good idea. So
Yeah.
basically, we are feeding DALI with Chat GPT's results in
Right.
a way, right? But and I don't know
Really
if
cool.
DALI is like that. Rocky is always. Let's take the next bit of the sentence and see if DALI
Oh
can
no!
understand it.
Wait. Just copy that text. But let me
Yeah,
do. Let's do one thing here for Dali. Go back to
uh-huh.
Dali.
Yeah,
Choose one of the images there. Just choose one.
yeah,
Now, one of the robots images. Choose one and put edits on the image. Yeah, choose that one and put edits.
yeah.
And
Yeah, edit. Okay, so now here's what you do. Can you see in the bottom? No, wait. What happened? No,
Sorry. Yeah,
put edits. Put edit right
yeah.
there. Yes. Now, can you see in the bottom?
Mhm.
There's a little square. There's a black thing. There's a little square to the right the square. Right. Yes.
That one.
So click this square.
Mhm.
Put it. Drag it near the robots, near
Yeah.
where the surfboard is. Drag the square near the robots. No, it's right there in the screen, in the top
in the
corner,
left
the top
top
left
corner.
corner. Can you see
Ah,
it?
this one here.
Yes, right. Drag it near to the robots.
It's not moving.
Uh,
Oh, why?
why not? No, well, yes, yeah, click, yeah, okay, try again.
I think it will go now. Try.
Yes, reload the page or
Uh,
something. Yeah, go back and try again, the whole thing. Yes, edit. Okay, now click the little square on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so drag that. Huh, wonder why.
You can't drag anything once you.
Huh.
I don't know what it means by frame.
mm, it's some bug.
Generation frame.
No, okay, because basically what you do is that on Dali, you add a generation frame to your image, and then you add a new description. So it generates another frame based
Based
on
on
what
this
you
one.
have.
Yeah, yeah. So add generation frame. Maybe that's what happens when I do this.
Yeah.
Now, but
Then
you have to overlap. The problem is that you have to drag it because you have to overlap with the robots. Click on the robot. See. Click on a different place to see if it adds there. No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Hmm.
try to
Maybe
get there.
variations.
No.
No, no.
No. Okay.
Edit the detail.
Yeah.
Oh, the variation will be what? The same text, or will it base it on?
Yeah, based on the original.
Is it? So now maybe I can put this. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
Somebody's been playing with Dali. Looks like.
We're all playing with these things, right? Aren't we?
Nice.
So that's it. I think it has used the second bit of the text on the original image
Mm-hmm.
from the looks of it. So it was
Okay.
variations.
Mm-hmm.
No. The variation. Yeah, but that's not. Let me open Dali here and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Why don't you demonstrate it to us?
Yes. All right. So can you paste me the text that generated the robot to begin with?
Oh, the ChatGPT text.
Yes.
Wow, that's going to be a large one.
Yeah,
I'm
just
going to
paste.
try to paste it a bit at a time because your facility in the private chat trims. Okay, so I pasted the first bit
Oh, that's so good. Yes, that's what we need. Okay, good.
and then the second bit.
Okay, cool. So let me share my screen now. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing that you did. Let me show you here. So, all right. So let me do the same thing that you did. I'm gonna generate the same image here, a different one, of course, right? But
Well, it may end up generating the same image.
no, it will not. It's always different. Yeah. See.
Okay, yes.
All right. So,
Nice.
do you like any of those or?
Yeah, the first one's good
First one.
as an experiment because the other three looks different.
All right. Okay. So
Okay.
then we're gonna do edit here, right? And I'm gonna
Mhm.
do generation frame, and I'm gonna drag
Ah,
the
see,
frame here.
I didn't get that.
Right. Okay.
It didn't
So
give me that control. See,
right.
that's the difference.
So we're gonna get the generation frame, right? And so I'll copy the second part, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah,
So
interesting. I got
I'm
to
gonna
look at
cut
it
the
again.
second
Why?
part.
Why?
Basically, what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna paste the second part here, right? And I'm gonna generate on the generation frame, right? So then basically what it does, it extends the image with the new description.
While it's generating, I think Douglas asked a question here. Who owns the copyright of the articles, code generated by AI?
Yeah, that is an interesting question, Douglas, because this is right now, as far as I understand, totally outside of of you know. So from the copyright law, what I understand is that if you use a tool to generate whatever you do, the copyright is yours because you
Yeah,
use
you're the
tools.
creator of it.
Yes.
Whoever's the author, and at the moment you are the author, even though you used a tool, because the tool is inanimate, so laws don't apply to it. Laws
Mm-hmm.
apply to the ones who apply or use that tool. So yeah, you are the owner and creator of that article.
Right. Now, another interesting question that we can say. All right, so we can get here, right? So
So interestingly, the controls you are seeing weren't appearing for me at all, for
well,
whatever
it's
reason.
no, it's the same. Oh, this one here is because I'm choosing after it generates. You can choose an image,
Yeah, but
right?
I'm saying that I am not seeing that.
No,
Maybe because it's
you're seeing the ones in the bottom, right? And so then you choose which one you want from the options, right? And you do accept, right? And then you can say generate and frame again, and move the generation frame here, right? And so what we can say, I don't know, a cat surfing.
Actually, I know why. I know why it didn't appear and now it's appearing.
Okay, so you see, basically what you can do is that you can extend the image, and because you have some overlap here, it's using that overlap to extend the image, right? So yes, let's use this cat surfing right here, right? And so then you can keep extending the image like this.
I found an interesting article about that question about who owns AI generated art. I think I will let me share here. How do I send a message?
Do you want to send the article to the
Yeah, the
private
link.
chat?
No, the link.
I can send here.
Yeah, you have to send in the private chat, and then Hugo can send to everyone.
Sure. Yeah, and this article is saying that there is discussions about it, right? And they say, oh, an AI generated art. The US Copyright Office has already refused to grant a copyright registration for AI-generated art because the current copyright law requires human authorship for copyright protection. AI-generated art has no owner. However, under the current law, owners of AI technology itself may be the ones with cause for concern, potentially being at risk of copyright infringement lawsuits, because all this AI is using arts from other people
Yes,
to create this kind of thing. So
yes,
there's a lot of discussion about it.
that is the biggest problem. So probably you can claim because you use a tool, and you are because you use a tool, you are the one, the copyright owner. But the AI learns from codes, from art, from images, from others to generate the art, right? So that is that's the problem by itself, right? Especially
Yeah.
because you can say generates, that's one thing we can do here, for example. So you see, we can keep generating, keep adding to the image. All we need to do is keep describing, right? And then you keep adding. So now we have our character robots, and he has a friend cat and a friend dog, right? So anyway. Now the editor here does not have saving capabilities, so you have to download the image, otherwise you lose it, right? So just so you guys know.
I think under history or collections you can find them back, right? If you
Not
click
this
on
one
history.
here. No, not that's what I'm saying. The editor here does not have
Oh,
that.
the generated ones you mean? Okay,
Yes,
right,
the
right.
editor on the editor here, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can have just the basic one, right?
What browser are you using? Is it Brave?
This Chrome,
Chrome, right? Yeah. See, I think that's the issue with me. I'm
right?
using Brave, and for some reason the editor works differently in Brave. At
Right,
least
Yeah.
it's not showing me the same controls when I click on generational frame.
right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I will have to change to another browser when I choose to play around with that. So this is interesting. So it has extended
Yes,
the same image.
yeah. You can extend. So here, for example, let's say Rocky.
You got
Known
only 8 credits left. Mhm.
Rocky is a robot, right? Let's say it's sleek metallic body and powerful motors, right? And so then let me just say here, I can say Botero is style, for example, right? So Botero is an artist from Colombia that I just visited last week, right? A couple of weeks ago, right? So if I do that and generate that, so then it's going to generate a robot, Botero style, right? And so you see, right? So that's how Botero does, right? Everything's going
Draws, yeah. All
right,
right, interesting. So it's
Yes.
applied the Botero. Yeah, I've seen this. So this, what you're seeing here, is like stable diffusion,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mhm.
DALI is as well. So I think the last time you weren't there, were you? Maybe you were not. Oh, you were there. I think I was showing this on online here, where
Mm-hmm.
you could just write text. Uh,
You want to share your screen, Money?
yeah, I could. Hang on a second. I could share my. Oh, right. Okay, he's allowed me to come back. Thank you. So if we just pick this one, which already exists, because I think I remember now when we picked existing prompt, and that's the link we can share with our audience. You can see this already. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
This is beating. Well, I don't think it'll beat DALI, but this is free. But the
Mm-hmm.
image quality is really high, and then you can actually play around with this further and further. Like I added the last time I added near Niagara Falls, and so what you'll see is that whole Amazonian setup, and then in somewhere you'll see Niagara Falls showing up. Um, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So it has blended the previous one with the
Mm-hmm.
Niagara Falls thing
Nice.
with icy capped mountains. So this, I think I said Mount Everest the last time, but I'm going to just make it more generic to help it out. So now you see ice capped mountains somewhere in the
Mhm.
image, but now actually the if you go to see it's getting more and more dominated by the latter. So maybe if I just change that around, maybe it's the latter that dominates the former because it draws that afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if that is true. Actually, not true. So Niagara and mountains have taken over all of it. The high-tech city is no longer to be seen
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
in this. And similarly, there's more over here. Pikachu flying down in Eiffel Tower. Let me see what that is. I don't remember what I. Ah, okay. This is a top view from the Eiffel Tower to the Eiffel Tower. Sorry. All right.
The last one is pretty nice.
This one here.
Yeah, the third one as well.
Yeah, actually, they're all pretty good. This one looks a little bit cartoonish, but these three look all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in the
Well,
middle of the desert, let's see what happens. So now it'll have the. So I did one of the ones I did was otters in the desert. Okay, so there's I don't know if any desert feeling is there here, but this third image here has some impression of it, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So
difficult.
otters in the middle of the snow. And this was a confusing one. Let's see if that works. If you know otters, right? They are these
Yeah.
small squirrel like animals in the water.
Hmm.
But this might be real otters in the ice. I don't know.
But
Very nice.
I think the two generate something, right? So
Yeah,
Mhm.
it'll generate something. So that was what's the insect robot preparing delicious no mecha robot no. This one is a good one. The Disney. So, and this is free. Whereas on DALI, if you do a few more, Bruno, I think you must have used it quite a bit. You only have 7 credits left. So, uh, this one is free. You don't have any credits issues with this stable diffusion. Although the quality may not be as good as DALI because DALI's got bigger data, like image data set. Whereas I think stable diffusion, this probably at some point it will not generate as good images as you want.
Stable diffusion, you can even run it in your own machine.
You can,
There
yes.
is,
There is what is called diffusion.
Yeah. So why you're searching there, money? I'm gonna show you
Mm.
here. So there's another one that I'm using is airbrush, right? So airbrush, they're going through a promotion. They can buy a lifetime that gives you 50 credits a month forever, right?
Mhm.
So, well, Dali gives you 15 a month. That's not too bad either, right? So anyway,
Oh, you get okay. You can keep getting your credits back once you finished using it after the tenure. Okay, get it.
yes, right, yes.
Mm.
So airbrush. If you go to AppSumo and you try to get airbrush has both Dali and stable diffusion, right? So you can choose which
I
one
see.
you use,
Oh,
right?
cool.
To generate. And so stable diffusion, depending on the size that you're going to generate, it takes less, more or less credits, right? And also, if you do Dali, depends on the size that you decide, it takes more or less credit also.
Mm.
And so this one here has also an interesting tool that's called the image upscaler. After you generate an image, you can just go to image, even another image that you have. The image upscaler turns your small image into a 3000 by 3000 size image without losing the quality of the image, right? So it expands the size of the image. So that's an interesting tool too.
Wow. So this is the website I'm sharing, and if you have a Mac, only then it is useful. I don't know if they have a Linux or a Windows version of the app. This app is really good because you can create an image from an image, and there's
Mm-hmm.
something called an in painter and an out painter. I'm still working my head around what that means, but you can
Mm-hmm.
do a whole lot of stuff that the other online apps are not letting you do. And this is
Right.
free, and it runs on your computer. The image qualities are okay, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it downloads the model when you install it. And I'm not sure if it updates the model regularly, or if the
Right.
models are whoever's maintaining the model regularly updates it. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Well,
that it does. It does. So this is a good one to play around with as well.
yes. One of the things that those tools that you download and use yourself, right? That you can play around with the model more, right? And so one of the things you can do is that you can say, for example, you can get several pictures of Bruno, and then you say that a person is Bruno, right? And then
Mm.
you ask a person doing blah blah blah, and then it's going to use a picture of Bruno to generate the person, right? So then
Mhm.
you have actually it's funny because it doesn't really look, it's not really Bruno, right? It's a slightly modified version of it, right? So
I
uh,
did.
Mhm.
I did that. That's a good one. I actually said draw. What was I saying? Picasso drawing Michelangelo, and you should see the art that was generated.
Yeah,
Right.
but you can
So
create your own.
yeah, and the other way around as well, right? Michelangelo creating Picasso. Well, which is it's going to be strange, but
mhm.
it knows how to
Yeah.
do that as well. So you'll put that effect in. What was that app you said? Airbrushes.
Airbrush, yes,
Airbrush.
airbrush.ai.
That one here.
Yeah. So
Right. Okay. Perfect. Want to
wait,
share?
wait, let me get the deal here. There's a deal
Mm-hmm.
that you can buy a lifetime deal. So you pay once. It's pretty cheap actually.
Mm-hmm.
At here, um,
You're gonna buy it just now?
no, I bought already, right? So it's a $29 deal that you get a lifetime access to airbrush, and it gives you like 500 credits every month.
It's not mentioned on their website. I'm
No, it's
looking
not on
on
the website.
advertising.
It's on AppSumo. So that's the link right here.
I see. Okay.
So AppSumo is a site that has deals for tools.
Okay. Cool. I think that's the one to share with our community.
Yes. So I think you look there.
But you do get some free plan with this, right?
I think all of them have some free plans. Yes.
Yeah. So
But
this lifetime offer thing is a new way of selling things when after a few years you'll forget about it. right?
No. So the idea of the lifetime thing is basically for companies that need to get a lot of users to jumpstart their business, for example, right? And then it's kind of like a crowdfunding in a way, right? So
Yeah,
they
yeah,
tell you
I
a
get it.
lifetime deal, and then it's pretty good. Look, I started with a lifetime deal for hopping, and I have a lifetime account on hopping. An account for hopping is extremely expensive right now, and I have a lifetime account for it.
Yeah, I think if you look at from that point of view, you are the early investors, the
Yes.
early. So there is a website, actually. Keep forgetting the name, where startups actually go and sell their products, their initial prototypes,
Hmm.
and if you are signed on onto that website, you get access to them. You can buy them really cheap.
Hmm.
But once those prototypes get released in the market, they're not the same prices.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's similar. It's a similar thing here, where you're
Yes.
going to get the whole lifetime thing, but at a really small price, because when they
Mhm.
really go live, that's a whole different price.
Right. So AppSumo is exactly that, but only for software tools.
Mm,
So
cool. Great. Learned about a lot of new links today. I must
Mhm.
grab all of these. I'm sure Hugo is nicely posting them to our nice audience
Yeah.
here, and the audience is enjoying many of those things. So thank you, Hugo. Yeah, cool. You're impressing me, Bruno. Today, I didn't know you spent your time looking at some of these things. I thought it was just some of us looking at it and spending our time
well,
with this.
yeah, it's always fun, isn't it?
Right. Should we have a nice Christmas one before we close? Because I think the only next one we have, actually, no, we are meeting again in 2 weeks, right? So around the 20, what is it, 21st of December, twenty
So
third of December.
how about we say a laptop computer out in the snow, all decorated for Christmas
Anything with Santa?
with Santa Claus. Yes, maybe.
With Santa Claus sitting next to it.
Right.
Santa Claus programming.
It doesn't like it to be spelled with a small c, proper nouns and all that stuff.
Yeah, I learned a lot of tools, guys, that you guys showed me today. All right, that's nice.
That's not bad. It's pretty
That's not bad
good.
at all.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
the first, the
Yeah.
first, the first one looks pretty awesome. Santa Claus, a video call with Santa Claus out of the snow, right? That's pretty cool.
Mm, right. Yeah. And
Yeah,
this one,
it's it's
Apple is
Santa,
getting advertised here.
right. No, because it's during the pandemic, right? So Santa Claus comes over Zoom and not doesn't come down your chimney.
Right.
Actually, that was a reality. You guys know that's one of the things that happened during the pandemic is that those people that dress up as Santa Claus, they dress up as elves and these kind of things, or clowns, right? They did not have business, right? So basically, they did that. They were hired to come to parties, right? And then so they would give they would give presents and all that, right? So remotely.
Remotely.
How are they going to give presents and sweets on via Zoom? Just like digital
No,
ones?
I think that's because you're doing for the kids, right? So I think that there was some kind of arrangement with the parents beforehand, and so Santa
Ah,
Claus would give things, and then the kid would receive it, right, at home. So
yeah. So the parents would have to coordinate according to
yes,
the event. I see.
right, all right. So you go
Yeah.
back to you, man.
Yeah. Hugo has some good information there for us. So I'm going to stop.
Yes. Actually, I think that.
What happened with
Uh,
money?
oh, don't know what happened.
What happened with money? Money
But
disappeared.
let's say
Oh,
let's say he come back before. Yeah, he's back.
All right. Hey, money.
Hello. Sorry, I
You
don't know
just,
what.
you went away.
Yeah, I clicked on the stop sharing button and it totally conked off the connection.
Right. So Doug was saying, I once worked with someone over 10 years ago that did something called Santa calls, where he would call and surprise the heck out of kids.
Oh, really nice.
Oh, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
That's not nice. Kids want to be positively surprised, not to
That
be
was
scared.
that was something from my childhood. When I was a kid, there was a guy in our apartment building that he knew. You guys know He Man, right? So he knew the guy that doubled He Man to Portuguese, right?
Mhm.
So He Man would call our birthdays and say hello to us.
And give you some good advice.
And
Yeah,
Really nice.
good. Well, one thing that I wish to wrap all the discussion around ChatGPT is that how much it actually adds, yeah, lots of new things and new ways to work. I believe, especially in the development field, I think uh, like we usually have Stack Overflow, something like that, to find our answers. I think that might change in the near future. Grabbing those examples to configure. I actually tried it today to find out some how to configure this thing here to work with that. And actually they replied with a tutorial with step by step. So that was pretty advanced way to find. I think it's an advanced tool to make to find the response. And I see that there is a lot of things that we can not just in development but also in other fields like art and when we build stories. So that was pretty amazing for me. And but there's a coin with two faces, you know. Since it's a tool we can use for good things, but also can be used for things that probably not very good. I'm not sure if there is something that we have to be aware of or afraid with, because there is a lot of discussion around it, especially when it comes to art. There are many people that is complain about, oh, that shouldn't be considered art because it's generated by AI. And yeah, I don't know. There's lots of things that turning around. People are, I think, there are lots of afraid because of that this powerful tool now that we have in our hands, right? I don't know how about that. You do you have any thoughts about around that, and less thoughts around that?
Before anybody can answer, I want to say this. Today, Hugo sounds different because we configured his machine with the real Chat GPT. And
Hmm.
so you don't have the real Hugo. The real Hugo is sitting on his sofa watching TV. And this is the Chat GPT Hugo that's
Asking me.
responding. And hence you can hear he sounds different. Doesn't he sound different, Bruno? Pedro? He is different this
Yeah.
time than
From the
because
beginning, right?
yeah, right from the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
See,
because
he's
I
very
bought
well.
this new
The
mic.
Chat GPT is very well trained. It knows how to make it look very authentic. It's just showing us the mic.
Yes.
So just wanted to let you know that the it's very meta here because the chat program is asking us how is the chat program, how is it real or not, you see. So the chat program is really smart. So real Hugo is having quite football time on his couch, whereas the programmed Hugo is right here.
Right. Well,
Okay, you guys go and answer the question
don't,
because
don't mention
I derailed the
don't
question.
don't mention football today, money.
Oh, sorry.
It's a
For Brazilians. It's a sad day for
all right.
Brazilians.
So money. We don't even know what the question was anymore, right? So,
You do know what the question was, is that the last bit was, what do you guys think about the reality of all of this? Is it real? That's what the question
oh
was
yes, if
about.
it's art or not, right? So
Exactly.
well, in terms of art, right? Let's go to the practical side, right? In terms of something practical, right? So, for example, Pedro created a cover for his book using Dali, right? And so, practically speaking, Pedro has an amazing cover for his book that was created by AI. So, yeah, it is real, right? So, it's something that if you create some piece of code that solves a problem, right? It is real. Now, if this is art or not, right? I think that the whole thing about art and creativity is about exclusivity, right? So some people are able to do something that is different, right? That's unique, and so that's where the value is. Now, when everyone is able to do that, then then the value of this whole thing doesn't exist anymore, right? Because everyone can just do it, and so and I think that's like an amazing book cover, like an amazing uh, uh, artist. I mean, an amazing drawing, for example, for a book cover was something that in the past was exclusivity of someone that had, a publishing house, and they could hire an artist and could do an exclusive book cover and all that. So now Pedro can have the same thing, um, in for free, maybe, right? Because he was using the free version of Dali, for example, right? So, uh, and I think that this is a reality, guys, right? Because and everything that the machines are able to do um, becomes easier and cheaper, right? And so then us, we look for the more interesting things that the machine cannot do, right? So I think that's always going to be happening, right? So there's going to be things the machine can do, and then we're going to be because why would we spend time doing boring things that's it can be easily done, right? So if for example, you can cheaply buy a McDonald's burger, right? So then, on your daily basis, you can just eat food that you bought without having to worry too much. But on on a special day, you might want to cook something special, right? An interesting thing, uh, um, is the following. So let me give a real example. Uh, I can buy a pizza for an amazing pizza place near my house, right? Amazing, right? So I'm partly Chat GPT, right? So I know I can buy an amazing pizza from a pizza place near my house. It's expensive, it's very well done, it's amazing, it's always good, right? But for my daughter's birthday, we decide to do pizza at home, right? So we invite lots of people, and we're doing pizza at home. And everyone was like, man, thank you so much, Bruno, because you're doing pizza for us, right? So it's like, the fact that I'm putting my time to do something, it's worthwhile, even though the pizza that I make, it's not as good as the pizza that I can buy, right? But people still value the time that you put, the effort that you put on things, right? So it's not an answer, money, but it's just like a expanding on Hugo's thinking here, right?
No, I totally agree with you on that because I was going to say, and I didn't want to interrupt your whole flow, is one thing that Chat GPT and the technologies like that cannot do yet. Maybe someday it can do. We'll think about it then. Is to mentor people anywhere close to what how Bruno does, or how Bruno was mentoring 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. That's a challenge. Yet it has to accomplish one by one. Okay, it's quite possible it'll do a quantum leap and it'll give you like a surprise and help you mentor in how you've been mentoring in the last, like how you're
You-
mentoring now with 20 years of experience.
but
But
that but
that's
that's
not
yeah, but
that's not an easy one.
that's a very good point, money. You know, because the interesting thing is that the uh, uh, ChatGPT can generate instructions, right? So here's how you learn machine learning, right?
Mhm.
But ChatGPT cannot have the experience itself, right? So if you need the experience, right, you're still gonna need someone to work with you, right? So I can the same thing that I can go online, for example, or Netflix, and I can learn about London, but it's completely different thing if I go to London and meet Money there and he shows me London around, right? So there's no amount of Netflix videos and VR Oculus and things like this that will replace the fact that if I go to London, I'm going to spend a whole day with Money visiting the city, for example, right? So I think the
Yeah.
experience is still always going to be worthwhile.
Absolutely. So there'll be so many things that will still keep the human experience apart. Like, for example, you as a mentor can sense a mentee or anybody where they are and what they need as the next push to get to where they want to be in a good span of time, and maybe 10-15 minutes or in a day or half a day or a week later, by just introspecting about that person. I think something like the technology like that has yet to develop that kind of an ability where they can do all of these things I just mentioned in the same sequence or same quality is another thing, right? And then also produce for every time should be a different result, right? You cannot, like a robotic manner, produce the same result for every person you mentor. Try to produce the same set of instructions and results and get this everybody to the same point. No, everybody's got different points, right? All of that is so non-discrete, right?
Mhm.
Because the robot does everything in a discrete manner, but all of this is non-discrete. It's a lot more inorganic.
Right, right,
Or organic is actually the better word, not inorganic.
right.
I think
Right.
we've expanded that answer quite a bit. Hugo, are you satisfied? Do you need Pedro's contribution as well? Pedro will also drop in something.
Yeah, and I think as you were saying, like wrapping up what we have discussed here, I think we have we are in a moment that it's important to us to learn these tools to understand to understand they are here, that we can use it, not to be something that will will unemploy us, right? Like may or rob our jobs or something, right? But no, these are tools that it's important that we understand them and we use them for the good. We know that people will gonna use it for every reason, but here our job here is to take this and use it for the good. And as for Bruno is a mentor, but now he's a mentor that has a big tool to help his mentees to learn more about Java or learn more about anything, right? So I think this is the most important lesson I can have from all these tools here. I think it's something we need to take to understand, we need to see, and we need to use to the best.
Cool.
Great. I think we had a great discussion, and I also played a lot here to show how ChatGPT, how to use ChatGPT and some of its features, and yeah, I think that's it for today. I'm not sure. We do run we end our session by sharing a title of a book. I'm not sure if, today how we are with that, but we are we are close here to the end. And who wants to start with that?
As a human being, I
As a
will
human
share a
being.
book. I will share a book
All
that
right.
I
So while Money is getting his book, I'm just gonna say Douglas saying that he really enjoyed the conversation. So
Great.
one person maybe in the future that we might want to invite is Douglas. We're gonna discuss with him skills and practice, right? So Douglas is a good guy for doing that. So if if you want to do this in the future, that would be a good guest.
Hugo, ChatGPT, please record this in your model so we can produce results the next time in 2 weeks from now. So the book I shared, the author, I know him, Manu Joseph. He's actually spoken at TDC, if you remember, TDC last year, June.
Nice.
And he was one of the data science speakers.
Nice.
He's the author of this tool called PyTorch Tabular, and he has been approached by a publisher to write a book on practical time series forecasting, and he has kindly picked me out of all the other people he knows, and he's picked other people as well, to read his book, review it, and put a review on maybe an Amazon or other sites. So why don't we all do that, read and post a review about his book? That'll help him improve the book. So that's the reason I'm sharing it. It may be data sciencey, but it's a good one to start with. I think it's simple read, and it's a good step up. So that's my take.
Okay.
Anybody else has a book to share? No, you have always plenty of books to share.
Yeah, always plenty of books. So so here was what I'm gonna do, because I love what you just did, Manny. I love that you mentioned a book that that a friend of yours wrote and everything. So I'm gonna do exactly the same thing. I was gonna say that I did not have a book to share today because I didn't come prepared, but I'm gonna follow. You see, because as you're saying, that I'm a robot.
I was just going to say, this is a
Right.
typical of a model to just copy
Exactly,
an
right?
example and learn from an example.
Yes, you gave me a
Not
prompt.
think of a model.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, you gave me a prompt. Find a book of
Yeah.
a friend, right? And so
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna suggest here this book here. Yes, I'm gonna suggest this book here, Practical Design Patterns for Java Developers, right? Hone your software design skills by implementing popular design patterns in Java with example. So this guy here, Miro Enger, he's actually part of of our mentorship program here. So he's one of the groups. He used to work on NetBeans and other open source software for Sun, and so he's writing this book. He's finishing out this book, so he's right now is on pre-order. So let me put the link here so Hugo can share that with everyone. So
I've already done it for you, Bruno.
So you did not. So thanks. So he's writing this book, and yesterday he asking me to do the foreword for his book, right? So whenever he comes out, he's gonna have the foreword of my. He's gonna have a foreword for me. So that's a good idea, Manny. Thanks.
No worries. You're welcome. Now that the model has been trained, we might have a regular response in the same way, I think. And I was thinking, while the other model was working, Hugo and Pedro might have been already coming up with ideas for a new book or a book that they want to share.
Well, I'd like to share one book here. Like this, I like this book. Get Your Hands Dirty with Clean Actor in Java. So this is a really interesting book because Clean Actor is not always something abstract, right? So we are always talking about it, but it's not difficult to discuss the implementation of that. So it's discuss the implementation. I think it's really a really good book to discuss about architecture. So
interesting.
I read it some months ago. I like it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and well, from my side, I think I will share a book that I already shared before. But since we are talking about ChatGPT and things with AI, future with AI, and so on, I really love to share this one, the lessons, 21 lessons for the 21st century. I really like the thoughts from Yuval Harari, and yeah, I think that's. It brings a lot of discussions in the table, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it if you haven't read it yet. So And I think that's it for today. So I want to thank everyone here. Thanks, Mani. Thanks, Bruno. Thanks, Pedro, for being here and adding a lot with this discussion. I'm sure ChatGPT has a lot to change in the future, in the near future, and it was very, it was amazing to play with that here and share with everyone. So thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Thanks, Hugo. Thanks for putting this whole thing together here, man. Thanks a lot.
Okay,
Thanks, you,
thank
for
you.
inviting.
No worries. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys, for putting this together. See ya. Bye bye.
See you.
See you.